Just catching up. Sorry, I'm a little late.
And third, this is critical to our AGI roadmap. Video will be an important environment where we're going to learn, or the AI is going to learn a lot about how to do things that we need in the world. So I'm going to hand this over now to Aditya, who leads Sora, and Bill, who leads Sora Research. They're going to tell you a little bit about what went into this. And then after that, we will have the product team come up.
Thanks, Sam. Guys, today is finally the day that Sora will be available. We're launching Sora both in the United States as well as most countries internationally later today.
Not Europe,
You can
though.
access the model
Might be.
at Sora.com. This is a completely new product experience from OpenAI, built for the ground up for video generation. The best part is that if you have a ChatGPT Plus or Pro account, that's all you need to get started. You don't have to pay extra for Sora.
Don't
We're
have to pay
including it
extra.
in the accounts
Huge.
you already have. You know, to do a deployment this broad, the Sora research team had to do a ton of work finding ways to make the February model we previewed way faster and cheaper. They really delivered, and today we're launching Sora Turbo. This is a new high-end accelerated version of that original Sora model, and it has all the capabilities that we talked about in our tech report on world simulation earlier this year. This includes things like generating videos from text, animating images, and a ton of video-to-video features, like remixing into new styles, extending forwards and backwards in time, etc.
You know what,
Some
I'm
other
gonna
folks are
drop
going
my
to show you
videos
this
now-
in
now
just a
that
few
the-
minutes. As Sam
the cat
alluded
is
to,
out of the
we
bag.
started the Sora project at OpenAI to build AI systems that really deeply understand the world and its physics. We're really just getting started here. You know, this early version of Sora will make mistakes. It's not perfect, but it's already at the point where we think it's going to be really useful for augmenting human creativity, and we can't wait to see what the world is going to make with Sora starting later today. Aditya?
Hi, I'm Aditya. I'm really excited for this release. OpenAI has had a multi-year long history of training state-of-the-art models that have pushed the boundaries of what's possible to do with visual generation. However, we feel like for further advances in visual generation, we need breakthroughs both in machine learning and in human-computer interface design. So it's for that reason that I'm really proud of the product that we've built, and I'd like to hand things over to Rohan and Joey, who can tell you more about it.
Hey, Ron. Hey, Joey.
Hey, what's
All
up,
right.
Sam?
I'm excited to show this product
Yeah,
off. Go ahead.
let's do it. I'm Rohan. I lead our Sora product team.
And I'm Joey. I'm the product designer on Sora.
All right, Joey, get us started.
All right. I'll kick it off by talking a little bit more about Explore. Explore is the place for inspiration. It's a feed of videos shared by the community where everyone can come together and explore the capabilities of this powerful new model. And we know that these models, especially the first time you use them, it can be hard to understand just everything that you can do with them. So creating a space where people can come together, learn, share techniques, share methods, felt really exciting, but also really important to us. And so you can see just scrolling through here, you can be inspired by all of these amazing videos. And I saw one up here. If you see one that's particularly interesting to you, you can click into it and view it in a lightbox. And at the bottom of this lightbox, it'll show you the exact method that was used to create this video. Whether it's simple text prompt, an image extension, video extension, or one of our other more powerful creative tools, you can take this methodology and learn how to incorporate it into your own creative workflow. So without further ado, I'll kick it back to Rohan to do our first generation.
All right, let's head to our library. You can think about this as your home base in Sora, where you can view all your generations. You can slice the view here a couple different ways.
I love this aspect of
Grid
Sora.
view, a list view.
It's so easy to organize, and
folders,
it's
favorite
frankly
things,
kind of similar to like
look at
Midjourney.
bookmarks from the feed. All minor organizational touches, but show that we really care about empowering storytelling and
I'm just
really
dropping
use
my
of this
videos
product.
right now.
All right,
Don't mind me.
down here you'll see our simple
I
composer.
have videos locked and loaded.
Here you can create a video by simply describing it with text or uploading an image. Sam, you got an idea for us?
How about some woolly mammoths walking in the desert?
All right, woolly mammoths walking through the desert. Love it. Let's say woolly mammoths walking through a desert landscape. Let's maybe make it a wide shot. Cool. And before we fire this off, I want to touch on some of the options you'll see down here. Aspect ratio. So Sora can generate from horizontal aspect ratios to square to vertical. It can generate in resolutions from 480p up to 1080p. can generate from 5 seconds up to 20-second videos. And you can also generate multiple variations at once. So you might not know exactly what you want out of this description, and Sora might take in a couple different directions. Variations let you see a couple of options. We'll do a 4-video variation here. And last but not least, there's presets. Sometimes you might find an aesthetic or style that you really love, and you want to capture that in a reusable component and apply it to a ton of generations. You can do that. You can create your own. We have a couple defaults here: stop motion, balloon world. That's a crazy one. Highly recommend it. But let's fire off this gen.
The presets on Sora are
and then I'm going to hand
amazing.
it back to Joey to talk about
They are
storyboard,
amazing.
another really awesome feature we have.
Awesome. Thank you, Rohan.
So you can
Rohan
basically like
just showed how you
upload
can take a general idea and send it to Sora
with
and have it create.
with presets. You can basically like upload a photo, and then it'll generate like a style that you can now remix and reuse.
A more advanced tool that's still very early, but something we're calling storyboard that lets you direct a video with multiple
storyboard is
actions
awesome.
across the sequence.
It's such a
using
cool
a familiar
feature.
timeline. So I'll click in right here.
And something that
I'll
not
tell you a little
none
bit
of the
about
other
storyboard.
video tools have
At the
actually.
top of the screen, you
They
see the
don't have
storyboard
this
cards.
feature.
This is where you'll
And you'll
describe
see
the
here
environment,
what they'll
the
do in
characters,
this
any actions you want to
aspect
occur at a
right
particular
here,
point in your video.
which is pretty cool.
Below that is the timeline. You can see the outline of my entire clip, and this is where I'll sequence the actions in my video. And then below that is the creation settings that Rohan just went over. So I'll pop back up to the storyboard, and I'll set my first storyboard card in the scene. So I'll say, a beautiful white crane stands in a creek. Let's give it a yellow tail. Stands in a creek. So here, I can write as little or as much as I want. And the less I write, the more Sora will fill in the details. And the more I write, the more Sora will try to adhere to my direction. So in this video, I want this crane to be
Big
standing
caveat
at the
there, it's
beginning
not always
and then
perfect.
dip its head in the water and pick out a fish. So I'll come down to my timeline.
Hey everybody, welcome
And I
back.
can click anywhere
Sora-
within the outline of my clip to add an additional card and give Sora those actions. So I'll come up here and I'll say, the crane dips its head into the water and pulls
And
out.
actually, there's this little button here. If you click on it, it
So
will
looking back at
actually
my timeline,
rewrite this
you now
for
see
you.
at the
Probably
start of
using
my
ChatGPT.
timeline, I've set the scene, and then at 5 seconds, the crane will dip its head into the water. And you'll notice that there's space between these two cards within the outline of my clip. That space is important for Sora to connect this first set of actions with the second set of actions. I can always adjust where I want these actions to occur, but giving Sora adequate time to connect these ideas
Hey everybody,
is really
welcome
important
back.
if you want to continue a
Sora
shot. You can also have it make cinematic cuts by moving them closer, or move them further away and let Sora do even more filling in the details. So I'll move this back to 5 seconds, and I'll fire it off. And we can review this in a minute, but there's one more storyboard feature I want to show that's really, really cool. And that's using image to create video. So in this first storyboard card, I'll go ahead and upload an image that I have on my desktop. This image is of a lighthouse. And you can see that Sora automatically put that first image into the first card. And then it created an entirely new card. And this is a continuation caption. Sora has looked at that image, and it has added an additional, in understanding the movement that we might want to make with this image, and it has filled out a caption to continue, or to turn this image into a beautiful video. So much like with the text, I can come up here and edit anything in this card. I can adjust its position. But for now, we'll fire this off and we can see how it looks. So I'm going to kick it back to Rohan to review some of these videos that we made.
Let's do it. Let's see. Let's check out those woolly mammoths. Let's see what we got here.
Amazing.
Pretty good. Pretty good. So here we can hover over our, our variations of this generation, kind of get a feel for which one we might like best. And then we can.
I love that it has
continue
4
to refine
variations,
this
which
with
is
Sora.
something that
So
not the
like
other players don't have,
maybe
right?
top right?
Me too.
Yeah, all right. Let's take a look at the top right.
Runway allows you to generate like
Now,
multiple at a time, but you have to
this is
keep
cool,
clicking on
but
it.
now that I'm
Luma's
seeing the
like
scene,
one
I
at a
think it would be
time,
cooler if these woolly
and
mammoths were robots.
Love it.
Halo is also one at a
Alright,
time.
let's
Kling's
do it.
one at a time.
So remix lets you just describe changes to the video, and Sora will do the rest. So I'm going to click remix here, simply say, replace the woolly mammoths with robots. You'll see a couple familiar options here. You can create multiple variations. You can change the resolution. You can also tell Sora the strength of the remix you want. So if you want a big change in the scene, this is probably a significant change, we'll tell Sora, hey, give us a strong remix. If it's something subtle, like say you just wanted a little bit more wind in this background of the scene or more sand kicking up, you could go with a mild or subtle remix. For now, we'll kick off a strong
Remix also really powerful because it's able to identify like
right,
little
should we take a look at
objects or
your
characters
storyboard?
and change them, but it's also kind of finicky. It's not always very reliable, I have to say. So we'll see how they do it, but
So here
I've
let's
had
pop into
some
one of
pretty
these and you can see.
not super reliable remixes.
All right, so we see about halfway through, my crane is dipping its head into the water. You can see if it grabs a fish. Oh, looks like it missed on that one. You can review another one of these too. But you see that Sora has taken my direction, and it's done a pretty good job at understanding exactly where it wants to go. And both of these cranes, they may have
Pretty
missed
cool.
Got a little fish that one.
Yeah, I got a little fish. But this is again something I want to point out, which half of the story with Sora is taking a video, editing it, and building on top of it. So the beginning of this video, right when the crane's head splashes in, I love this part. So I'm going to go ahead and use another editing tool here called Recut that allows me to take.
I love
video,
Recut. Recut's my favorite
turn it
tool,
down,
for
and
sure.
extend it in the storyboard.
Also something that
More direction.
most of the other players don't have. It's very impressive in terms of
Recut
at least
has taken me into a new
referencing,
storyboard, and Sora has imported this video of the crane.
especially
Now
because
I can see
sometimes
on the
Sora
timeline
like doesn't do a good job
video
of
here,
like
I can
generating
scrub through
beyond
it to
2
review it,
seconds. Sometimes it
and I
starts
can
warping.
also trim my
So-
video. So I think I like, actually I'm going to take this first few seconds right until its head splashes into the water. I like that. And so much like in the other storyboard examples, any area that I leave empty here, Sora will seamlessly continue from whatever storyboard card I have in there. So if I want an entirely new ending, I can leave the end blank and I can go ahead and hit create. If I want an entirely new beginning, let's say I wanted this at the end of my scene, I can leave this here and maybe the camera will stay on the crane for a little bit more in the beginning. I can also move it into the middle and generate entirely new endings and beginnings for all of my videos. And much like the rest of the storyboard, I can always click to add more cards and give it more a direction. So let's generate a new ending to this video and we can see how it turns out.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks, Joey. While that's going, let's see if we got some robots. Oh my God, we did.
Look at that. So that remix did pretty well there.
All right.
Pretty awesome.
We'll see that Sora here.
Oh, these are sort of like woolly mammoth-ish robots.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. So yeah.
That one walks like amazing, actually.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Remix is pretty cool if you've like
So
already
Sora
created
took our prompt,
like
replacing the
using
woolly
like
mammoths
animals or
with robots.
humans and then
We did just
changing them
that.
into robots.
We click
It's pretty
in.
useful
You
for
see
that because
the original
sometimes
one
when you
here.
just start
It's
with
a strong
robots, it
remix.
doesn't
We
do it
replaced
very
the
well.
woolly mammoths with
So
robots. Pretty awesome. Let's take a look at a couple other features. Actually, quickly, let's look at your image to video generations here, Joey. Pretty cool. Some nice ambiance with this lighthouse. You
That
get a,
top right one's pretty.
yeah, you get a couple different shots here with different sort of camera motion. And as you can see, you might not know exactly what you want. You could throw an image in there and see what Sora does. Kind of like I want this to endlessly repeat because it's so beautiful. And you can do just that with loop. So if you click into loop, you can tell Sora, where do you want the start of this loop to be? Where do you want the end of it to be? And Sora will fill in the gaps to create this sort of seamless, repeated scene. You have a couple options here. Sora can add fewer frames if the beginning and the end are already pretty similar, or you can tell it to add lots of frames to try to connect maybe two more disparate beginning and endings. But Sora will do the heavy lifting. It's a really, really awesome feature. A lot of the artists in our alpha really love loop. Cool. Last but not least, I just want to quickly touch on another feature, blend. So you can think about blend as giving Sora two scenes, and Sora will create a net new scene that is a cohesive version of both of those. It's almost like smashing two videos together in another dimension and then bring it back to this one. I'd never seen anything like it until I used blend with our model. So if you click into blend, you can choose another video from your library. We could blend the robots with the woolly mammoths. That could be a cool one. And there's a couple options here. I won't go into a ton of detail right now, but long story short, you can kind of dictate to Sora how you would like it to sort of blend these two scenes together. Some really awesome advanced features for our heavy users and power users trying to make a lot of awesome creations.
Can we do that one?
Yeah, we can run this one for sure. I think, translation blend is probably a good one for the woolly mammoths and the robots. Let's run it. All right, awesome. Cool. So to wrap it all up, I'm gonna
Oh
come
my
back
God, they're
to the
they're
featured
almost
feed.
done.
And
Wow.
you'll remember
So
Joey
succinct.
scrolling through these videos earlier. You might have seen at the bottom storyboard. Now you know what that is. You can kind of uncover each of these generations in the feed and see how they're created. I love the feed because you can just find inspiration and then run your own remix of someone else's video.
In addition to inspiration, I just find it like so compelling to just
Yeah.
watch. Like,
Yeah.
it's amazing what people are doing.
Same.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it really is wild. And that's Sora. That's
Oh my God, that's mine.
End product.
Oh my God,
We're really
my
excited
videos
to
showed up.
See what you create.
That's amazing.
And add more features here and do something amazing. Do more amazing things with Sora. But yeah, Sam, you want to tell us about availability?
Yeah, so this is going live today in most of the world, except most of Europe and the UK will be a while. We're going to try our hardest to be able to launch there, but we don't have any timing to share yet, and there are some other countries that we're not able to operate in. If you have an OpenAI Plus subscription, you get 50 generations a month. If you have an OpenAI Pro, you get unlimited generations in our sort of slow queue mode, and 500 normal, faster generations. You can also get fewer generations at the higher resolution. So, and anybody with any account can just enjoy the feed. We're really excited to see what you all will create. We're really excited to see kind of all of the new ways that this sort of new kind of entertainment and tool will be used. You all did incredible work on this. I'm super proud of the team. I love the product. Yeah, any closing
Amazing.
thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Joey and I are just representatives of an amazing team here. I just want to shout out the research team that built this incredible model and got it to a place where we could actually serve it to the world. And our product team is a group of like 5 or 6 product engineers that build this entire product in a matter of months. And obviously a village at OpenAI to support us to get to this point. And quickly on just kind of abuse prevention and safety, that's something obviously is in our DNA at OpenAI and we really care about.
Good call.
We obviously have a big target on our back as OpenAI, so we want to prevent illegal activity of Sora, but we also want to balance that with creative expression. We know that's something that will be an ongoing challenge. We might not get it perfect on day one. We're starting a little conservative, and so if our moderation doesn't quite get it right, just give us that feedback. We'll be iterating. Yeah, really, really, really excited to see what you create. Joey, any other final thoughts?
Yeah, I think maybe my final thought is, I think if you come into Sora with the expectation that you'll just be able to click a button and generate a feature film, I think you're coming in with the wrong expectation. Sora is a tool. It allows you to be multiple places at once. Try multiple ideas at once.
It's a good caveat.
Try things that are entirely impossible before. But really, we think it's something that's super, super special and an extension of the creator who's behind it. And so we can't wait to see what you create, and we'll be watching in the feed.
Yeah, to come back to the GPT-1 analogy, it's early. Like, it's
Totally.
going to get a lot better. So, but we've always been
It's the
surprised.
worst
when
it's ever
things
been
like even
today,
in an early
right?
state,
Or the
that
worst it's
people are
going to
able
be
get
today.
amazing performance and real value out of them. And yeah, we can't wait to see what you do in the feed later today.
Yo, I want that jacket. Yo, I just realized he has this hoodie. I want a Sora hoodie. All right, y'all. That was the Sora released. A quick, like 20 minutes? Dude, I love
Rohan
the...
and Joey, who can
I love the demos from OpenAI. It's just amazing that that they're just like chilling. Also, I just gotta remind you, dude, my video just showed up in the demo. This is a video, by the way, that I've been working on for years. A concept I've been working on for years. This video, oh my god. This video is mine. It took me, first of all, so
It's kind of
long
the
to
end
get
to-
it right the way I wanted it to go, and I can't believe that it's literally in the Sora demo. That's so cool. Didn't get full screen, unfortunately. Come on, guys. But wow, I'm getting a little emotional thinking about it. Well, anyway, while we have you here, this is Sora. This is the cost here in terms of credits, it looks like. So we got 480p square, 480p. So these are all the credits. I don't know what credits amount to per, like how much, but let's see here. Okay, so ChatGPT Plus and ChatGPT Pro. This is I think that's $200 a month, right? So that's 500 priority videos, okay. And then unlimited relaxed, and it looks like you don't get unlimited relaxed in ChatGPT Plus. So that's a big limitation there for the model. I think that's pretty cool. Otherwise, yeah, it looks like, okay, yeah, so ChatGPT put $200 a month, yeah, right, and ChatGPT Plus. So hey, you know, they're pretty smart, I gotta say, doing ChatGPT Pro, for $200 a month, which includes O1 Pro, right? So that's pretty interesting. They're gonna package O1 Pro and Sora Pro together. I mean, they're so smart, first of all, for doing these 12 days of OpenAI. I mean, they got, you know, we got still like 9 more days of updates from OpenAI, but here we are in Sora. I can even show you the video that I've been working on. Dude, there it is. This is mine. You know, it took me a while to get this to actually work, and it still isn't working correctly, honestly. Like, this girl here should be Filipino, so I might remix that. But yeah, this gives you a sense of the actual platform. We're just going to do this live. I'll play around with it. I can show you a few things that I've been working on the platform. I don't know how many people are viewing me right now, but whatever. We're going to play around. We're going to go for it. I also just dropped a ton of YouTube content about Sora. So if you jump on here into YouTube, you find me. You know, I'm hard to find out there because I'm a loser. I'm a newbie. I'm not like BKHD, violating embargoes willy-nilly. But I do have some videos that I just made. So if you go into my channel here, you'll be able to see. You know, right now we're live watching. I got 2 people. How nice. But I've got a whole playlist that I just dropped for Sora. So this is a film that I just made using only Sora, and then talking about AI art as a craft, because I really think it is. I think this is something that MKBHD specifically missed. And then how I made the short film on Sora using Midjourney and Sora. And then, you know, there's this letter that leaked from a dozen creators in the program, of which there are a lot, who tried to represent themselves as representing the people in the program, but you know, no. And then comparing all the different models against each other, which I think might be the most useful comparison, frankly. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. We're gonna jump into how to use storyboard as well and other things like that. But yeah, before we do that, let's just take a look. Let's take a look. So this is Sora right here. As they mentioned, it's essentially got a different aspect ratios. They didn't really go into that. There has the presets, which you can essentially create. So I can go in here, I click on manage, and I can create a new preset. Let's say I can call it, I don't know, like futuristic something. You know what? Here, watch. So I can grab something on YouTube, on Google even. So I can go like futuristic spaceship, right? And I can go in here, and let's say I can grab this image of a futuristic spaceship, right? And I can use that as a preset, right? So let's say this is from this gentleman named Tony Ling. So I'll try it with this, which actually might be a copyright violation. So you know what? So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do a Midjourney. So I'll create it myself in Midjourney. And so I'll create a futuristic spaceship. So I just featured Tony Linog. So, oh, here, how about some robots? So I'll grab some robots here, and we're gonna go back into Sora. Robot future. And actually, this might not be a great showcase because it's not like vintage, but I'll upload this anyway just to show you how it works. And it's gonna create a description for me based on that. We're gonna do another one, say like vintage photo, or let's say, you know, like painting scene from the 17th century, let's say. Okay, we're going to there, and I got my futuristic spaceship here too, so I'll use that as well. Boom, grab that. And while that's loading, We'll grab, oh, this one's still loading right now. Roll there. And there we go. So we got a nice painting here. Let's say this is kind of going to get a Rembrandt feel to it. We'll grab that. And what I'm going to do here is grab this. So here, look. So what happened, I uploaded that image and it created this little description for me. And it's going to use that as the preset. And I'm going to create another one based on that image that I just made there of the, 17th century painting. And we're going to upload that one as well up here. And we'll say, 17th century painting style. Okay. Oops. Didn't load. So we're going to do that again here. Ooh, something went, oh no, it came through. Okay, so Baroque interior color, warm earth tones, rich brown. So it basically looked at the image and then it wrote the preset. So then I'm going to save that as well. So you can see here, I can go down and I can look at all these different ones here. And you can also just write your own, right? So you can be like, oh, like vintage photo. You can even just write here, like, looks like vintage photo from the, I don't know, like 18th century, for example. All right, so there's also that. And I'll just name it like vintage photo description based on what I have. Right. So there you go. So, okay, so I've saved a bunch of presets and I can show you now. I'm going to go like left and right through all of these so you can see how they work. So let's start with, let's say the 17th century painting. That's kind of interesting. And I'm going to say, like group of people having a feast. And let's do something kind of weird too, like group of robots interacting with each other on a race course, let's say. Okay. And sorry, I'm kind of multitasking right now because there's a bunch of things I want to release. So, got to do it. Got to do it. It's time. So I'm just playing around right now. But yeah, so we got these prompts happening right now. Group of people having a feast using this preset. And so it's kind of cool because you can kind of do multiple at the same time and you're doing like 4 variations potentially. So there's like 1 to 4 variations. I also can like change the aspect ratio, which is simple. And then I got like 480p, 720p, 180p. So this is like slower to higher. I mean, I just want 48p because I don't need to be that high quality. And then it's got duration up to 20. So there was a rumor that it's so funny. Like people just like have all these funny rumors out there. But I think, yeah, this one, see like this guy's posting that it's 1 minute video outputs, which is wrong, right? There's 5 second, 10 second, 15 and 20 second. So it's not a full 1 minute. And I don't know that I would want a full minute. That sounds annoying to me. But people want what they want. Okay, so we're still loading these. We're going to use another preset so you can see. Let's try that let's try the spaceship one. It's a vintage old photo. Let's try this vintage photo description, the one that I used. Okay, so like people hanging out having dinner. Okay, so you see the output here. As you can see, like this is important to note, right? Which is that sometimes things don't work. And so here we've done a preset where, let's go back into manage presets so you can see essentially what I did. So preset here, I uploaded that photo and it made this description for me, Baroque interior color, etc. Now let's see, maybe the problem is that it did this. So there might be a little bug here. So we're going to grab that and make it more clear here. So lighting, soft, directional, vibe, elegant. Yeah, this might be why, because usually it loads, save. Usually it loads like this. So that might be a bug in the markdown or some of the text here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do that again. I'm going to grab that text, group people having a feast, and I'm going to do 17th century painting again, and then we're going to prompt that. And you know what? I wonder if I did the wrong one. We'll try this one as well. So there you go. So I'm going to go back and manage my presets because I got a double up here for some reason. So a few bugs I think we just caught here actually. So we're going to generate those. Ooh, and we got an unexpected error. I wonder if the servers are overloaded because people are trying it right now. Anyway, we do have these robots using that prompt of this earlier preset here, which was 17th century painting. So it overloaded the prompt itself, the text prompt overloaded the actual preset. So I'm sorry to say we're getting not the right presets that we're looking for, but nevertheless, that gives you at least the idea of it. I'm sorry it's not working. We're doing it live, so you know this is the problem. And then lastly, I wanted to show you like we have 1 to 4 variations, which is pretty cool. You can essentially generate multiple variations at the same time. So I'm usually generating 4 just because I am greedy, but you can see here like there's a lot. And then text and image, they have this kind of caveat here. The other feature that is worth showing is the storyboard feature. Hopefully there's not too many errors here because it feels like the servers might be overloaded. But let's say like robot walking up to a hotel lobby. Let's say that. Robot walks into the hotel bar. And you know, I'm going to extend this to 10 seconds. And we're going to say, and you know, we're going to move this over because we need a few more seconds for robot. And then we're going to do this, move it over to 8 seconds. So this is like 10 seconds, as you can see here. And then these are scene 1, 2, 3, essentially. And then robot walks into bar, robot orders a drink. And so by doing this with storyboard, you're essentially like keeping the consistency across all of them. So like in theory, it'll allow you to keep this robot that it created in the first scene to then follow through on these 4. You can, or all these 3. And you can also like have it expand the caption, and then it'll reference the first caption in the second caption and the third caption. So it's intelligent in that way. So we're going to wait for that to expand here. It's taking a while. I think that I wonder if they're overloaded, y'all. Let's see. I'm gonna try over here. I actually genuinely think Sora might be overloaded. That's why I'm getting these errors. Yeah, it's asking me to reprompt on these 3. Oh, let's see if this one comes through. It looks like really slow right now for oh, here we go. Nice. Okay, so we did get the vintage photo the way that I wanted, the vintage style that I wanted. Perfect. The preset worked in this case. And let's see how it followed the scene. So the robot going to the lobby, then going to the bar, then getting a drink. Not bad. And obviously janky, finicky, it takes a lot of time to play around with, but you can see like how that all kind of worked together in sequence here. And obviously it takes a lot of skill to play around with. If you jump into story, you can actually jump straight into storyboard straight from the main the main window. You can also start with an image, right? So like if I started with an image to video from here, right? So if I actually started with a image, like let's say this painting right here that I had earlier, if I start with that image, which you unfortunately cannot drag and drop with Sora, so it's a little awkward in that way. So I have to go into my downloads folder, grab this, okay, manually. And then I can say something like robot walks into a scene, right, and sits down. So this is pretty cool when you're playing around with this. Now I can either just generate that immediately, or I can go straight into storyboard. So now it's referring to that. See, so then it's even rewrites it for me. The scene reveals an empty antique dining room. So it understood what that scene was, and then robot walks into the scene and sits down. So I could also, you know, expand that, but I'm just gonna leave it. So I tend to like to do this on my own. I don't like to have it rewrite because sometimes it gets a little bit too creative, but sometimes it also helps. So sometimes I'm like struggling. If my base prompt isn't working, I'll ask it to do more, but nevertheless, that's kind of how it works. Now I am generating 10 seconds, and that's a lot, but still useful, right? So we're gonna wait a minute or two for that to come through. While we're waiting, I am gonna upload another video. I'm uploading a video now on like how to use storyboard on Sora. Check it out. It's gonna drop in like 10 minutes. So like I've done a few detailed breakdowns of how to do this, which is pretty cool, I have to say. If I don't say so myself. But I think storyboard is just such a powerful tool, right? It allows for a lot of versatility using recut within it, which I'll show in a second. Just really powerful, really worth using and getting into, and getting used to. I find that some people have said that once they try Sora with storyboard, they have a hard time getting back into other tools. But I don't know if that's entirely true for me. Like I love all the other tools, frankly, like Luma Dream Machine, Runway, Hailua, Kling AI. Like they're all really powerful in different ways. Korea.ai, which brings them all together. FreePick, which also brings them all together. Not clear if Sora is going to have an API. Now, when we were looking at that documentation earlier of Sora and the pricing, I'm pretty sure that they did not announce an API, so that remains to be seen. But yeah, so here we got, oh, here we go. Okay, let's see if they got the robot coming in. Sometimes it doesn't have it because it doesn't have a reference, right? So this is kind of a good note here for like what you're trying to play around with, especially if you bring in images. So in this case, obviously the robot didn't come in, and it was clear in my storyboard that that's what I asked for. So what do I do? So in this case, I might go back into storyboard. So that happens by just like clicking back on these little captions here. I click on this and I'm back in storyboard. And this, I might have to expand the caption, right? So, so yeah, just a note there. One second. And so that's how that works with storyboard. We're going to wait for that. And while we're waiting for that, let's do something else here, which I can show you, which is recut, which is really, really cool. Oops, I'm getting a little bit of a hang there. All right. Ooh, we're getting some slowness on Sora here, unfortunately. I think it's just that we're just flooded probably right now with hundreds of thousands of people jumping into Sora. So I might have to pause this live and come back in later when we have, when they are kind of like getting their servers right, because this is like way slower than it usually is. Even loading back into this, like at least I'm getting my generations, but maybe that's happening somewhere else. So definitely this thing is overloaded. So if that's the case, I'm sorry guys for not being able to show everything here. But I've done everything in other YouTube videos, so check it out. If you jump into, there's a playlist here. If you jump into my playlist, you'll see I got a Sora launch playlist, so check that out. There's a bunch of information that I've been working on there. So yeah, check it out. Let me know what you think, and let me know if you want more, because there's a lot to play around with. I did a really long video about like comparing all the different tools with each other. So if you can jump in here, like you can see like reacting live, finally addressing the Sora artist leak letter, Sora launched, Sora showcase, like all these. I get pretty detailed into here. I also showcase my short film, which I'm really proud of. But yeah, let me know what you think. And I'll record any video that you guys want, showcasing Sora, showcasing different little features here and there. There's a lot to see here. So yeah, so it's pretty cool. Let me know what you think. Curious what folks on how much, what are people going to do with Sora? Like that's the big crazy thing to me, especially now that we kind of have every major players out there in the market. And so now we know, like Sora's been in secret for like since February. Now they're going to jump in and everybody's going to pile into that. You've got probably a lot of people with plus accounts. That's like 100 million people, maybe. No, I don't know how many people have plus accounts, but maybe in the millions. Let's check here real quick. So how many people have, I think they did announce a few weeks ago. So they have 200 million worldwide. ChatGPT Plus is around, wow, 10 million paying subscribers. So now you have 10 million people right out the gate who have access to Sora. ChatGPT Pro probably going to be a lot less because who wants to pay $200 a month? But hey, who knows what is going to happen in the next 10 days of OpenAI announcing stuff, how good those things are going to be, and whether or not that's going to cause even more people to jump in and get ChatGPT Pro. But we have a 10 million baseline since October 22nd of people who have access now to Sora. So that's a lot, right? So yeah. I'm very curious what this potential 10 million, maybe it's going to be like 5% of them or 1% of them are actually going to use Sora. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for me. I'm going to keep recording videos about Sora, about all these other ones. Please follow and like and all that. And yeah, let me know what you guys think and what else I should record about Sora, because I think it's coming fast. And obviously check out my other videos. I'm pretty proud of this one. It's a whole hour long, but you know, I go in deep detail with comparing like all the image to video models with Sora. So that's pretty useful, I think, kind of seeing how they generate. It's an hour long. It's very long, but I don't like to edit. So, but at least it gets to see like, what is the difference? Like, how are they compared to each other, generating the same photos? So, thanks everybody so much for watching, and see you in the next one.